Hi everyone, this is Arian Reed, and this is my 4th month on T. Wow, it feels crazy to finally be like past that first quarter. Now I get to say 4 months. That's kind of cool. Anyway, as I said in my last video, I did talk to my doctor, and we did increase my level of testosterone from 50 milligrams every other week to 80. So I think partly because of that, there seemed to be a slight progression in my changes, like a little bit, like things kind of moved along a little bit more in certain ways. Namely, okay, so my first change was acne. Unfortunately, after increasing my testosterone, the whole menstrual thing did not stop, at least not that I know of yet. Because about like 2 weeks after I got my testosterone increased, I had another period, but this one was light. It was very light. And like, even like when I say light, I don't just mean in regards to the pain. I mean also like in regards to the bleeding, in regards to the amount of time it lasted. It was like half as many days. It was really light. It was very swift, and just kind of came and went. But before it came, and during the first few days, I had a splatter of acne, like all around, like right around here, like my face, my jaw. And it wasn't just the increase in testosterone that I blame on it. It wasn't just the upcoming period. It was also the fact that I had been eating a slice of cake every day for like 5 or more days. And because no one else was helping me. I can't let food just go to waste. And the cake was really good. I made it myself. I managed to not burn it or anything. And it totally ruined my skin for like a good 2 weeks. But as you can see, I've recently recovered. I spent a week on just a full-on detox, and now and then this last week, I've kind of been being a little bad again, but so far, so good. So that was my first change, was that I had another, but lighter period, and I had some acne. I also felt tired, but I also recently increased a lot of my weights that I'm using at the gym. Pretty much everything I do, I went up anywhere from like, the 2.5 like little pound to... Some of them I've gone up like 10 or 15 pounds on those exercises, but those are also exercises that I have only been doing in the last few months. They're not ones that I've been doing for the last 7 years. The ones I've been doing for the last 7 years, I've only increased like a little bit on a lot of those, because I feel like I've kind of already reached like, my maximum potential, and now my maximum potential is just slowly changing as my testosterone changes. So those are not seeing a whole lot of change, but like certain things like, lat exercises, deltoid exercises, things I didn't do a whole lot of beforehand, I'm now seeing a large gain on a lot of them. So I'm super excited about that. And I believe that the fact that I have been working out so hard and increasing everything as much as I can and really seeing a lot of gains at the gym is the reason why I am feeling a little bit more tired than normal. And today I'm really tired because I had to get up early in the morning and do a lot of traveling to get back here home from a conference I had down south. So anyway, but for the most part, I feel like my energy level kind of goes up and down, like throughout your cycle, and of course throughout the day. So it's a little hard to really keep track of that kind of difference. I just know that maybe if I wasn't working out so hard, maybe I would have had a bit more energy, but I've been working out super hard. So it's hard for me to really tell you if testosterone made me more tired or more energetic. I'm sorry, I really can't tell you. I do know that the gym experience is becoming awesome. There is also a lot more hair on my stomach, and it's also getting longer. And I'm starting to really see like a masculine shape, like exactly like where I'm probably going to end up having hair when I'm all done. Like I'm starting to see like all those like little like peach fuzz hairs are like no longer peach fuzzy. They're like, well, they're like really long peach fuzzy, but some of them are getting like pretty dark, and it's coming along. It's progressing. There's also a lot of hair on my thighs now. I have very dark hairs all over my thighs. And it's kind of weird, but it's kind of like starting at the groin and then kind of like spreads. It's like someone just like dropped a hair bomb, and it's just like the bomb is still like slowly dilating. So that's kind of not what I expected, but it's kind of cool to see all the, to be kind of manly and hairy looking. And unfortunately, not really seeing any hair up here just yet, but maybe later. Maybe it's just taking its time. The mustache, I have not shaved it or anything. You still can't see it. Anyway, my voice is still breaking, so my range is still very limited, and the deeper range is deepening, though. That's pretty cool. The higher sounds, they either come out as silence nowadays, or they come out as like garbled splinters of sound, or they come out as like Chewbacca grumbles, or like pterodactyl screeches. I never know what's gonna come out. It's dangerous to use that range. I'm trying to just stay at like this range and lower, because the higher range is like, it's gone, or it's just out of service. The boobs are fortunately much smaller. I swear I must have lost like at least 2 cup sizes since I started tea. I was like at the start of this year, I was like, I fit a C cup real good, and now it's like, I'm like less than an A cup. Like they're so small. I haven't seen them this small like since puberty, when they were like still forming. So this was pretty awesome to see like how much that they shrunk. And also the fact that they're not like droopy small, like they just they got a lot smaller in size overall, like completely. Like they basically it's like pecs with like a little bit underneath. It makes me really kind of excited to think about what top surgery is going to look like someday, because I feel like there's not a whole lot to take away. So maybe it will be not super bad, and maybe the results will end up looking pretty cool. I'm starting to be able to envision what those results might look like, so I'm pretty excited. So it's so cool to see like how much smaller they're getting. I feel like they're getting themselves ready for the surgery. My stomach also feels much denser. Bending over is now uncomfortable. And overall, my stomach seems stronger and also seems bigger. Like, not just stronger, but maybe a little bit fatter too. Let's be honest. The hourglass is a little bit less hourglassy. Each month, it kind of, does a little bit less. Instead of like this, it's like a bit more like this. And I don't really mind it so much. I don't really care much about it. For me, it's more about the hips. I'm just hoping that my hips slim down. And my hips are really slim. Like, I did lose like a lot of fat off my hips, but unfortunately I do have like a really muscular hips and a really muscular butt. So overall, because the muscles like back there kind of show along the front of my body, like they kind of create like a hip shape, unfortunately. So I still have, because of like all that, I still have a bit of a hourglass shape for a guy, so whatever. I also run at a hotter temperature in general. Just a little bit more. Like my general temperature is a little bit higher than it used to be, it seems like. And I also sweat a bit more. I find myself changing my shirt halfway through the day a lot of the times, especially after I talk to people who are like super important or something, or for some reason I get nervous, or just like little things in life where like I'm not that nervous, like I'm not very nervous. I'm just giving a presentation, or I'm like talking to like this super important person or something about something really important or something, and I'll just get like I'll be a little bit nervous, not a lot, and I'll just break out in a sweat everywhere as if I'm like super nervous and losing my shit. So it's kind of the sweating is getting much more annoying, but so such is life as a guy. I'm also finding that I think I do pass a little bit more. Passing has been kind of interesting this month. So first off, like my voice is getting deeper. I like to think I'm getting a bit more masculine looking in some way, but I still get gendered female a lot. The last time that happened was when someone ran my credit card, so they looked at like my old name and, you know, gendered me based on that and handed back the card and were like, here you go, Mrs. Reed. I was like, oh, dang it. I was having a great night till you did that. But before that, it's been pretty good for the most part. And it's just now and then that happens. And it's kind of a bummer because I was hoping to be like passing like at least 90% by my birthday. That was just kind of like my, I don't know, like a benchmark or something that I had in mind, like a goal. And so it's just a little bit of a bummer that I'm apparently not going to quite meet that goal like I thought I was going to, but it may have been a bit of an ambitious goal from the start. But I also like to think that maybe it's also part of the problem might also just be that I've just been like super confident and just super nonconformist lately. I just feel like not even conforming to my gender, but also not even conforming like to what people expect. Like I want to be the unexpected. I want people to underestimate me. And like I went to a function recently and everyone there, it was mainly, you know, lots of rich white guys at this work conference, but everyone there was like in tuxedos and ties and things like that. And so I just showed up in a freaking like in these earrings and like a metal band t-shirt and some just loose jeans and sneakers and just showed up and I was like, I am here. And of course, I got a lot of stares in the restroom by all those rich white guys in their suits. And I at first I kept thinking it was because of my gender. Like maybe they're trying to figure out if I'm in the wrong restroom. But it also occurred to me after I would get into the stall and look down and go, oh yeah, that's right. I'm in a metal t-shirt in a super fancy rich people conference. So they might also just be staring at me because I am like exactly like no one else here in any way whatsoever. And which was by choice. I purposely packed those clothes for this trip because I was like, I want people to underestimate me. I want people to not know who I am. I want to see how they treat me when they think that there's going to be no consequences. I feel like that's going to bring out the true personality of whoever I'm talking to. And when I'm meeting all these new people for the first time, I want to know from the start, I want to get a good first impression of like who they truly are, not who they are when they're being politically correct. So it was partly my fault because I was being so nonconformist. And so I feel like a lot of those stares may have just been because of that, not necessarily because of me not passing. But whenever people did like assign a gender to me, like call me like ma'am or sir, it was usually, I felt like too many of the times it was ma'am. I haven't been counting. Maybe I should start counting, but I was not counting. So all I can tell you is that it happened way more than I wanted it to. So I've been a little bummed by that a little bit, just a little bit. But I like to think that I'm still a work in progress. And so is my ability to pass. So hopefully the things will continue progressing. And also I was just a little bit hungrier, but that was like the increase in hunger came like shortly after I increased my testosterone. So I feel like it was a little bit linked, but also that was the same time that I was PMSing. So put it all together, yeah, I was pretty hungry for a while there. But as usual, I just curbed it with my vegan protein shakes and bananas and blueberries and things like that, peanuts. So I got through it. And so far, in these first 4 months, I've only put on like a total of 5 pounds additionally from what I was beforehand. So the weight gain hasn't been much, and I feel like I'm hoping that a lot of that is muscle. I'm sure like 1 or 2 pounds is fat, I'm sure, but I like to think that the majority of it is muscle. But overall, I'm very happy. I feel so free nowadays. I just feel very confident in myself. I feel much more sure of myself. And also I've been studying on trans issues. I've been giving presentations and, presenting proposals, and just, I've had a lot going on to really give me a lot of experience in the world. And but I also just feel so much better about who I am, how I look, how I feel, how I walk, how I move. I've been watching other guys and kind of emulating them a little bit, but at the same time, like, also just trying to figure out how I want to walk and how I want to be. Not necessarily that I want to look and be more male, that I need to, like, fit into some stereotype and try to conform, but more just like, okay, my hips are getting slimmer, so how do I walk now that they're shaped more like this? And, like, how do I move? How do I behave? How do I, how do I, like, walk around? Like, my shoulders are feeling a little bit bigger than they used to be. Like, just seeing how their guys move, I'm like, oh, so that's how they navigate the world, with, like, these broad shoulders and skinny little hips. So I'm just kind of learning and trying to decide, like, what ways do I want to kind of conform and which ways do I not want to. And, really, really figuring out, like, who I am, because although I am a trans man, I feel like I don't have to define my gender, and my gender doesn't have to define me. And I also feel like I don't need to be accepted by other people. I just need to accept myself. So I think that attitude has also been part of the reason why I haven't been passing as much, because maybe I'm not being as masculine as I could be, but I also feel like I don't have to be very masculine just because I'm a trans man. I feel like I can enjoy wearing my pink shirts and my purple shirts and my transgender shirts that, have the bright blue, bright pink, and seem to always have a lot more bright pink on them overall than blue for some reason. And or maybe it's just the shirts I buy, but they seem to, whenever I wear anything with pink or purple or anything like that on it, I tend to get gendered as female more often. But I'm kind of like, come on, people, like, pink doesn't mean male. And, like, this is just so heteronormative, what you're all doing to me by seeing a person, an androgynous person in a pink shirt, and then trying to assign a female gender to me. Like, that just seems so silly to me. But I'm trying to slowly teach people and use myself as the teacher's example. So this is what I get. But inside, I feel much happier now that I'm just letting myself do whatever I want, and not, because the thing is I like to think that, like, my voice and my face, that my body's gender presentation is becoming more masculine. So I feel like because of that, I can easily be more of who I am. I always get to be. It's always my choice, but I feel like it's easier to be who I truly am, because I feel like my masculinity is no longer threatened by my femininity as much. I mean, at the moment, obviously it still is, but as my transition progresses, I feel like that becomes less and less of an issue for me, because I feel like I can now, like, wear a dress or a shirt and still, like, there's still a possibility of me still being gendered as male and people still seeing the true me. And I feel like my true gender isn't being erased by my gender expression as much anymore. So overall, I'm so excited to be able to embrace my feminine quirks a little bit more, and my nonconformist quirks a little bit more, and still be gendered as male at least 60% of the time. And maybe someday it will be 100% of the time. Maybe I'll be able to look so male that I can put on a dress and things like that and still be gendered as male, because I just look so male in the face. Like, that would just be so cool someday, wouldn't it? So I don't know, I'm pretty excited about my future, and just giving it a lot of thought, and really liking where this is going and where I'm at. I'd like to be a little further down along that path, of course. I'm just so, I can't wait to get there. But I'm only 4 months in, so I have to give myself a break and just remember this is the track I'm on, and it's only going to get better. Life only gets better. So I'm really excited, and I cannot wait to see what happens in month 5. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please let me know, please click like or comment, whatever. Please, it really, showing your support to me, it really makes me feel like, not just that, like, I'm here and that, I matter, but I like to also think that I might be helping you guys out there. So I'm sorry. I'd like to think that I'm helping you people out there, and that I'm not just talking to myself out here. So if you do find these videos helpful, please share them, please like them, please let me know what I'm doing right and wrong. I do value your feedback and your comment, and I value your support so much. It's been so amazing to see that people are actually getting something out of my videos, and that you're all here for me and that we're all here for each other. It's just been, transition can feel so lonely sometimes. It can feel really terrifying. So it just, during those times, it really helps to be able to see that I'm not alone and that we are all in this together. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope that you all see me again next month. All right, bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Aryan. This is my first week on T.
Hi everyone, this is Aryan Reed, and this is my 4th month on T.
This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice.
This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice. This is my talking voice.
I want you to hold me like you used to when the sun was young and we were bright. I want to hold you like I used to when nights died long and we lived fast. Why aren't you here when smiles easy? Why do people keep staring at me? Where can I go when I'm one of a kind? When I look as unique as I am inside. I know I seem strange, I know I act weird, but look in my eyes, I'm human too. I may be deranged, but one thing's clear. I love me and me loves you. Yes, I'm here, stop staring at me. I am just a human being. I know I'm not pretty and not quite right, but close your eyes, I'm whatever you like. What's best about dreams is they're not true. What's worst about dreams is they're not true. Of course I vanish inside every book. Life's not as easy as it looks. Just hold me like winter until the ice cracks. I was never a season that was meant to last. Just give me a smile and tell me we're fine.